Don't get me wrong.
Baby girl was loving that steak.
Okay, so I do not think she's gonna be a vegetarian like Mom. Do you want your broccoli? Oh man.
I mean, it's a fact. Some people are born to like what they just like. Very simple.
I disagree with some of the laws that are being pushed in Congress that are against the LGBTQ community and the trans community.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I'm going to give you my view, and then I want to hear yours.
Okay.
My view is that if you're a fully grown adult, 18 or above, you're free to live how you want, dress how you want, marry who you want if you want, if you're over the age of 18.
I agree.
But you are not free to indoctrinate children in schools who are not yet of the age of consent. You are not free, just as you're a 17-year-old or a 15-year-old can't get a tattoo on their own, I don't think that you should be able to go or until the age of 18. And so the lines that I draw here is that men are free to claim to be women and swim in swimming pools. You're not free to claim trophies in a women's sports competition. You're not free to enter a women's locker room. You're not free to change a language. And you're not free to actually indoctrinate our children who are under the age of 5 in schools. Do we agree on the fact that adults should be able to live freely while still treating children differently? If so, we're on the same side of this issue.
Listen, I agree with the majority of what you said. However, I don't think that you're understanding the implications of the laws that are trying to be passed.
Look, we got a head start in the conversation. We got a long line behind you. But my only ask is, forget the personal attacks or the stylistic attacks. Focus on substance. The more we debate that, the stronger we're going to be as a country. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
He has a specific view. She has a specific view. He wanted to be clear on both views. And then they found out and he decided, I want to stop it. But at the same time, something lingered in my brain when she said, I agree with you, but about a beam bam boom.
Listen, I agree with the majority of what you said. However,
if you agree with him, but a beam bam boom, why is he talking about school and you're talking about Congress?
I don't think you're focusing on substance, though. That's the issue.
Hold on. Look, he intentionally tried to provoke substance out of you, and you said, well, I'm worried about some laws Congress should pass. I have to ask, what laws are you talking about? Can you be specific?
Like I generally say, isolate the incident. Let's talk about one thing. Let's talk about the details of one thing. And then we can talk about it. But generally, they agree with you, but they want to add something else. And I find that a little disingenuous.
I'm sorry, I'm very nervous. But this is what you do. This is what you do. You take people and you put them under the spotlight and you...
Well, hold on. I didn't ask you to come up here. You voluntarily came to the front of the line.
And maybe you didn't even notice. But you saw why she was nervous, right? She pulled out something. She pulled it out, trying to possibly get this video banned. Because she was like,
oh, would you look at that?
I'm like, why would you do that? You can't try to have a conversation with a person. You can agree on what you're talking about. But when you try to force me to speak about it and I want more information to clarify, you're like, look at them. I'm like, that's not genuine conversation. Why would you even do that?
How? What agenda is that? I'm confused, though.
So, Charlie, I'll say this. We'll end on this and we'll go to the next question. When I was 18, and I'm not going to blame you for this, I also took for granted a lot of the stuff that the media force-fed me, because that's what you know at the age of 18. You say there are some vague laws making their way through Congress that are hostile to trans community.
Do you know how...
I don't think those laws actually exist, but I don't blame you if that's what the cable media is feeding you. But let's get to the specifics, and then we're able to actually have an open dialogue. And that's one of the things I've learned over the last 20 years.
I think that the issue is we're getting our media from different sources. Both people are getting media from these skewed sources. The facts that you're presenting are not always correct.
And that's why we're here with no TV screens between us. So people who have policy-based substantive disagreements, we invite those. I think that's how we're going to get our country back. And as it relates to trans, which you brought up, 18 or above, you're free to live how you want. You're not free to force that onto somebody else, or especially kids. And if we agree on that, we make some progress. Thank you.
Disagreements, yeah.
Just like all liberals.
And the point is not about what Vivek provoked out of her. The point is that she tried to provoke something else to change the whole freaking conversation, or maybe even cancel this video because, oh my god, I don't look intelligent. Lingering. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's sad that we have to live in a society that people can't have a normal conversation. He's talking about something about 18 years old, but she's talking about Congress. And I'm like, shouldn't we have an honest conversation when you yourself said there are two media of information? Let's try to find the middle ground. I feel uncomfortable. Bagada.
Я снимаю.
Four young men stole several large boxes of expensive tools, Makita, from the store, several $1,000s worth. Well, at least that's going to cover the damages of them tires. That was quick thinking, by the way. But then again, it does make me wonder, is it possible that the cops can come by and charge you for damaging a property of a thief that they cannot find? Because, oh my god, you might be a gangster misogynist.
Don't touch me! Wrong with y'all? Hold it straight. Don't! Sir, get away, get away, get away. Don't touch me. Put it down. 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 Shoot. Put it like that. Shoot. Put it like that. Yo. Taser, taser, taser. Taser, taser, taser. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Shit. Shoot. Shoot. Shoot.
The guy had a knife. The tasers didn't work. He chased after people with a knife. There were people there. And they shot him. Too much for me, but they shot him. A black man armed with a knife was threatening people in NYC subway and the cops liquidated him. Now far left pro-Palestine militant are attacking the police over it. It make it make sense. And I'm like, it does make sense because I don't think they really care about the person. I just think they care about the ideology and they want to do something about it. Because it's just weird. What do you want people to do when another person is threatening another people's life? I didn't stab you yet, but this is my human right because I have to be free. Isn't there a physical test they have to pass? The two that are overweight are going to be huffing and puffing if they have to climb stairs, let alone carrying a full-grown man. I totally agree. I mean, it's not like they're dressing like they're going to work in the office or taking calls. No, it's like they're saying, we're going to help people in a building on fire. With all due respect. I'm not saying you can't, but I would prefer a strong muscled man than you because hey, my chances are way higher. That's why I'm paying you, to save me from a fire.
When I was in school, Lucas, all we did, add here, so this is gonna be 13. I carry the 1, and I'll go 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 1 is 6. That's my answer.
Let me how you show how it's actually done.
How it's actually done, okay.
These are the 10s and that's the 1s.
Okay.
4 10s and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, that's...
And then 7 1s. And
okay.
Then 1 more 10.
Okay.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
wow.
11, 12, 14, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, this wants to be with its friends, so it goes up to 50 and then it counts one more up, so it will make 63. That's how you do it.
Okay, times have definitely changed.
Math teacher here, the child is using the table to count to tens and then add the remainder up. A competent teacher would later help the kids add this quickly in their heads. The students are practicing pattern recognition, repeating, reasoning, and connecting old concepts. This should help them quickly add to 100,000, etc. so that the old algorithm is easily done mentally. The old way just makes the student follow direction. We can't complain about wokeness if we only teach the kids to do as they say and follow direction instead of think. And I'm like, let me give you the freaking definition of wokeness. Wokeness is like people that are pretending they know something, but then they want me to pretend that I don't know something when it was totally normal a few years or maybe even yesterday. But the sad part is that the kid is very enthusiastic about it. He's very excited to show how much he learned, but instead of teaching him how to add numbers together symbolically, and because it can be a little difficult, his teacher just told him to finger count with extra steps.
Weeks ago, Frank came up and asked if I would edge his front yard for him. Now, I wasn't able to get to his house that day, but I did not forget about Mr. Frank. I'm so glad he asked for some help because we were really able to make some improvements for his house.
What you did last time, man.
Oh, thanks.
No, I didn't appreciate that at all. Leaving your garbage across the street.
Oh, I was
not to do that.
I was coming back the next day.
You know what? That's how people get f***ed up.
But I told the neighbor I was bringing it back.
No, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
Don't do that.
All right.
I'm telling you, that's how you cause problems in the neighborhood, and people like you, something happened to you bad, man. Don't do that to me again.
Okay, I apologize. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I didn't appreciate that. I didn't appreciate that. And you know what? You're a liar.
And that guy is still yelling at me. This guy was still pretty upset with me. He was filming and telling me he was going to send this video to the police and report me. Of course, I didn't want to be confrontational, but he did eventually move on. Apparently, he's calling the police, or putting in a police report for me. What's new?
Nothing new to me. And when they scream, I just ignore them because it's a waste of time. Unless you can make a YouTube video.
She talked about the fact that sometimes the White House, in her words, surprises you. And for somebody who has worked on women's health issues for her whole career, frankly, as a teacher, but also as the second lady and now as the first lady, she said one of the things that struck her the most was the inequities in medical research, funding for medical research for women. So this is an important priority of hers that she had the opportunity to at this cabinet meeting to spotlight. And as you had that great interview with her, Peter, talking about the fact that, yes, a burden may have been lifted from her husband's shoulder in one respect with the end of his campaign, but there's still a lot of work that they both intend to do during their last few months in office here.
Breaking, the White House just held its first cabinet meeting in 11 months. Jill Biden sat at the head of the table. And in all honesty, all I see is another Democrat holding all that power without a single vote.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam. Durlo que ta verdetta welcome.